What sense of character can you glean from the soul in Deltarune? Well, plenty, really. For one thing, the soul is the design element that connects Deltarune to Undertale. It is in fact the character that is most connected to Undertale because you, the player, know the most about Undertale compared to the cast of Deltarune. If Deltarune is a parallel narrative to Undertale, then you, the soul, are the tether that links them. Like in Chapter 1's epilogue, you can say that it's great to see Sans again despite him being new in town. You can bring up Alphys to Undyne despite the two not knowing each other until Chapter 2. Chris has no reason to bring this up. They're an asocial weirdo prankster, and Sans makes a pun about sleeping with their mom in the conversation where the two meet each other, which means that those are soul dialogue options, also known as you. I think the soul's character shows itself the most in the Shadow Crystal bosses. First of all, the form changes are yet another stark connection to Undertale, but I want to focus on the prelude to the Spamton Neo fight, because when the soul shifts to its yellow justice, that's not Chris, that's us. Everything that requires player input is the soul, and everything outside of that is Chris. Defending Susie from the king was all Chris, because that's a cutscene. Firing off these big shots is us. It requires player input to proceed. In fact, look at Chris, they're collapsed in their roller coaster. So you as the soul can just use game mechanics like this, I guess. Probably under specific conditions, but able to nonetheless. So many mysteries in this game. But yeah, the soul is everything the player can do. Duh. But also, I think it's fascinating when Deltarune highlights everything the soul can't do. For example, the soul's vision is explicitly limited by a classic top-down JRPG viewpoint. When the soul lacks a vessel, it also loses its narrator and Chris, limiting the way you can glean information from the world. The soul cannot properly play piano because yes, Chris's will, but also because our controller scheme limits our ability to interact with certain objects. Basically, Chris lives in the world of Deltarune, while the soul can only play with it. Isn't that interesting? That despite its extra-dimensional nature, the soul is most easily defined by its inability to live in another world. Escapism, huh? Despite the player's presence in the narrative, we certainly are caged, don't you think?